Alright guys, so I finally decided to do a video, the 10 things I love about my BMW. I have a 2011 335i Coupe. It's the revised engine. It's actually the single turbo, but it's a dual scroll as opposed to twin turbo that the N54s had. But anyway, so I have 10 things that I love about my BMW. I'm actually going to be making a 10 things I hate video, and I haven't really started that yet. So here it goes. And this is not in order of number 1 thing I love to number 10 thing. It's not in any particular order. So I just got 10 things. There's plenty more than 10, and it was actually really hard to narrow it down. But I hope you can understand where I'm coming from when I have my list here. So the number 1 thing was the seats. I love the seats on this car. They have great bolstering. They have the thigh support, lumbar support, and they really hold you in really well. So if you're going around a turn or you're going a little bit quick, it's not a problem. You just don't move outside these seats. You just stay put. Maybe if you're a bigger person, it might not be as comfortable, but I think they adjust really well. You know, a lot of different types of people like these cars, so I would think that they're pretty comfortable for most people. So the seats, I just love. I love everything about them. Number 2 is the steering, the way that it steers. So this car is a 2011, which means it's just old enough that it still has hydraulic steering. So I know right when BMW did the electric steering, it wasn't that great, and I think electric in general doesn't tend to have as good as a feel. I think now they kind of ironed out the wrinkles there, but for now I'm really happy with the fact that mine's hydraulic, and it's also BMW steering, which is traditionally, you know, a little bit heavier and sporty, and just gives you just the perfect feel. I don't think I would want it any heavier or any lighter. I wouldn't change anything about it. So I love the steering in this car. Number 3 is the styling. I was unbiased originally. I didn't have a specific car in mind when I was looking for cars, but I wanted 2 doors. I wanted it to be sporty, but I don't know. The muscle cars are nice. The newer Mustangs definitely look really great. But this is just sporty, classy. It's a sports coupe. It doesn't look like a little Ricer boy car or something like that. It looks great. It's held the design really well. So BMW has newer generations, the F30s and F80s and all those cars, and this doesn't really look that dated. No one believes it's a 2011. So it's 5 years old now, which is not really old, but it's a little bit. It's old. It's 5 years, and no one believes it's 5 years. So I just love the styling. It's perfect. It's not too aggressive. It's definitely not boring to me. I just think it doesn't exactly catch your eye, but I think it's a very good looking car as far as the lines go. Number 4 is the sound that it makes. I think in general the engine is solid, but I just love how it sounds. The exhaust, I have headless downpipe, so that makes a huge difference. But just in general, I think it sounds perfect. So that's what's really kept me from getting an exhaust. I think it sounds really great. The engine has a good sound, and I wouldn't change a thing about the sound for now. I'm really, really happy with it. Number 5 is the suspension. So I have the M Sport package, and that changes the suspension just a little bit, I believe, as opposed to just the traditional, maybe a 328i or something that doesn't have it. So the M Sport suspension, and I like the way it feels. I don't just like knowing I have an M Sport package. I love the way it handles. The height is perfect. For me, it's perfect for me. I need to daily drive this for the most part, and you know, getting in and out of driveways is really no problem. There are some speed bumps every once in a while that I'll actually scrape, and I'm stock height. If I lowered this thing, I don't know, it would just be such a pain. So I just love the handling, and I love the height of it. It doesn't make me want to lower it or anything like that. Number 6 is the Bi-Xenon Headlights. These things are amazing. Every time I drive my Jeep, which just has the regular halogen lights, it's like, it feels like I don't even have any lights on. It has cornering lights. They're super bright. They look great. I've never owned a vehicle with these on it, and I knew they would be nice. But I can definitely see why people pay extra for LEDs and stuff as headlights, because I'm sure those are even better. I don't think those weren't even a thing when this car was out. So, but I just love the headlights, and any car like this I want to get, I'm gonna make sure that it has these. That's got to be a must. I know it sounds a little silly because regular headlights nowadays are pretty good, but the Bi-Xenons are just amazing. The self-leveling and all that stuff, that's just really great. Number 7 is the power and the tunability of these cars. I never anticipated tuning. I've never been a tuner. I've never really done anything as far as performance before I had this car. But you go on the forums and you see all these people, it's so cheap to do. And I know that this one isn't as performance driven as far as the potential goes as the N54s or other cars, but I got catless downpipes and a JB4, which increased the performance tremendously. Everyone says they should come from the factory like that, which I can totally understand. So the tunability is super cheap and very reliable. I have a JB4 on the fly. I can open the exhaust flap if I want. I can keep it closed when I'm driving to work, that sort of thing. I don't really need it open, and I can force it to stay open. The boost gauge that hijacks the gas gauge, that's really nice too. It's just so nice to have a nice car that's quick, that people don't know how quick it is, I guess. I mean, it's quick normally, but you just have that much more power. So I will be doing a little bit more in the long term, but for now I'm really happy with it. It's super reliable. I haven't had a single problem with it. It has fairly low mileage. I'm at 27 going on 28,000 miles. I bought it with really low mileage. It must have been just a garage queen before I had it. So I drive it quite a bit, but not a super amount. You know, I don't have a family or anything. I don't drive around all the time. Just to work and on the weekends and stuff. So number 8 is the brakes. I think it has excellent brakes. It's not they're not carbon ceramic, but they're very good. They definitely bite. I'm not gonna track this car, but my point is, for my purposes, daily driving and moderate spirited driving, they're just excellent. Number 9 is the bamboo anthracite trim. It's beautiful. It was my number 1 favorite trim that BMW made when I was looking at these cars, and I looked up the cost of switching them if I found one without it, and I had this whole plan, and I was so lucky that I found a car that had it, because it's pretty expensive to swap trims, you know, because it's a BMW part, so people just don't let those things go for for free. I think it is on the sportier side, because it's a little bit darker. It doesn't really come off as wood, but I mean, it's fake wood or whatever it is, but I like it better than the silver, or when people wrap it in carbon fiber. That looks fine, but this was just a little more high class. I don't know, I do like the carbon fiber, but this just really worked for me, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying to pay attention to the road. I guess that's a good thing. I shouldn't apologize, but there's just so much traffic. I don't know if you can see. It's dinner time, I guess, but geez. And the number 10, the last thing that I actually had for this list, I have plenty more, trust me, but number 10 is the Likeability, and not just my likability for it, because I love it. I'm a huge fan of this car, obviously, but the likability of other people, of anyone. I've had a couple random people come up to me in the parking garage as I was pulling out. They were parked near me and they're getting in their car, and they came out and they said, "I really like your car. It's loud, but it sounds good." It's because, you know, it's cold start after working and sitting there for 8 hours, and it's just random people. Sometimes it's just like a mom. It's so weird. People like it. Normally, I would have assumed, you know, the BMW drivers, oh, they're so bad, they're douchebags, they don't care, they have no respect for other people on the road. So that's kind of an unfortunate part of, you know, the what the brand gives off, and I didn't really like that about BMW as a brand. So anyways, it's just young people, older guy with like a 2001 7 Series, like everybody likes this car. I mean, I'm sorry, but every experience I've had, I was on the road, and like a guy in a Chevy Silverado just gave me like a little like salute, like a nice hand, and it wasn't, he was not flipping me off. He was just cruising by, just ever so slow, a little bit faster. I was going a little faster than him. Totally like no one, just kind of out of nowhere. Nothing really happened. He was just saying, and I assume he was saying, "Hey, nice car." He could have been mad about something, but that's not the way that it came off, and that's not the way I took it, which, you know, normally I would assume he's mad. But so those are the 10 things that I love about this car. It's such a great car. I'm so lucky that I get to drive it at my age and I was able to acquire it. But I'm definitely hanging on to it and enjoying it as much as I possibly can. It's awesome to me. And I hope that me sharing this is only giving off good vibes to others who either want to do a video like this, or maybe they're interested in the car, or you know, I liked the G37s, I liked the Hyundai Coupes, those were nice too, but this just hit home to me, and I liked it, and it's just been really great. So it looks like I'm really red, but those are from brake lights, as you can probably assume. But anyways, I'm sure this video ended up being a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I hope you liked it, and I'm actually gonna do one of the 10 things I hate. It was hard to come up with 10 things I hate, but I did, because it's only fair. There's always gonna be things you don't like about any car you buy, or else you're pretty biased. I don't know. I like to be kind of, I like to be balanced when I have an opinion about something. So I digress. I love this car, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll make more like this, of this type of video, if everybody likes it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and leave a comment below, and have a good one. This area. Hand tightened it. Thanks, man. Already broke my tripod. Paint, you know, that'll just buff right out. That's the way